My wife's cruel words about my uselessness came with grabbing my paycheck, but her victory was short-lived. My simple thanks became my final farewell and the beginning of revenge. Be me, 34 years old, working at a prestigious firm in Portland. Everything started with what I thought was just a joke. Working with Rebecca for several years. Not just working together. She's my boss. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Signed up for a complicated dynamic from day one. But we always kept our work and personal lives separate. At least that's what I thought. Until that Tuesday morning, middle of a team meeting, Rebecca looks at me with this snarky little smirk, says right in front of everyone, "You're useless, I'm taking your paycheck." Everyone laughs. Think it's just husband-wife banter. I laugh too. Nervously, something feels wrong. Deep in my gut, Rebecca always had a sharp tongue, but this felt different, too personal. The way she said it, like she actually meant it, chilled me to the bone. Try to brush it off. Learned over the years that with Rebecca, if you take everything seriously, you'll lose your mind. But this comment, it stays with me, burrows in my head like a splinter. Start noticing things, small things at first. She starts leaving for work earlier than usual. What's strange is how she leaves, like a ghost in the morning. No goodbye, no morning coffee together, no breakfast talks, just an empty bed, cold kitchen, silent house. Changes at the office too. Used to share secret glances, private smiles across the room, little moments that made boring workdays feel lighter. Now nothing. She barely looks at me, like I don't exist. One Thursday afternoon, go to her office, need to discuss project details, knock on her door, hear her muffled voice through the wood. Something feels wrong. Push the door open, find her leaning back in her chair, phone pressed to her ear, whispering with this playful grin. Haven't seen that kind of smile in months. Not directed at me anyway. She looks up. Smile vanishes instantly. "Oh, it's you." Says it like I'm some random intern. Not her husband of 5 years. Try to keep it professional. Feel a knot tightening in my stomach. Just wanted to go over the figures for the Q4 report. Standing there, feeling like an idiot. She waves me off. Dismissive gesture. Still half engaged in her phone call. "Later, Thomas, I'm busy." Doesn't even look me in the eye. Just keeps tapping away on her screen. Smiling at whoever's on the other end. Can't focus rest of the day. Keep questioning everything. Was that really just a work call? Or something more? The way she acted. Too comfortable. Too intimate. Something isn't right. That knot in my stomach gets tighter. Later that week, things get worse. Supposed to meet for lunch. Rare moment when our schedules aligned. Show up at Morton's Steakhouse. Our usual spot. Rebecca doesn't show. Send her a text. No reply. Call her phone. Straight to voicemail. Wait for an hour. Feeling like an idiot. Finally decide to head back to office. That's when I see her. Walking out of some fancy coffee shop downtown. But she's not alone. Her arm linked with some guy. Not anyone from work. Tall, athletic build. Wearing one of those designer suits. Must cost more than my monthly salary. They're standing too close. Laughing together. Leaning into each other. Like teenagers on their first date. My heart starts pounding. Can barely breathe. Watch from across the street. She kisses him on the cheek. Like she doesn't even have a husband. Like our marriage doesn't exist. Can't move. Just frozen there. Watching them. Mind racing a million miles an hour. Who the hell is this guy? Is this just a friendly lunch? Something more? My gut screams it's definitely more, but try to rationalize. Tell myself there must be an explanation. Something reasonable. Something that will make sense when she tells me, something we'll laugh about later. That night she comes home late, smelling like expensive wine, and perfume that isn't hers. Try to keep my voice casual. Ask about lunch? Oh, ended up meeting a client last minute. She just shrugs, like it's nothing. Doesn't even flinch when she lies. Sorry, babe, work's just crazy right now. Want to believe her. Really want to, but my gut tells me different. Tells me I'm being played. Her words are just another mask, covering whatever truth she's hiding. Keep quiet, though. Smile at her. Kiss her forehead. Tell her it's fine. But inside, feel like I'm sinking in quicksand. Whatever's happening between us, it's not just busy with work. Something bigger is brewing, and I'm about to be right in the middle of it. Can't let it go after seeing her with him. My mind is in overdrive. Every time she smiles, every time her phone buzzes, every time she glances at it, my skin crawls. Want to ask her straight out, who is that guy? But I know Rebecca. If I accuse her without proof, she'll turn it around on me, make me the bad guy for not trusting her. She's good at that. Twisting things, making you feel crazy. For even thinking something's wrong, try to play it cool, at least on the outside. But inside, I start digging. Don't want to snoop through her phone or check her emails. Feel pathetic even thinking about it. But the thought won't leave me alone. One night while she's in the shower, grab her phone from the dresser, hands shaking like I'm committing a crime. Unlock her phone. Find nothing suspicious. No weird messages. No strange names and contacts. No secret conversations. No trail of evidence. Just work emails. Group texts with her friends. Few random Instagram DMs. Looks too clean. Suspiciously clean. Feel guilty. Ashamed of myself? Like I'm the one crossing lines. But that image haunts me. Them laughing together. Him touching her. Like they've known each other forever. Can't shake it. That's when it hits me. Been looking in the wrong place. Rebecca's always been careful. If she's hiding something, it wouldn't be on her phone. No, she'd be smarter. Start paying attention to smaller details. Notice her old work laptop. Kept in her home office. Haven't seen her use it in months. Something tells me to check it. Wait for my chance. One evening she goes out. Says she's grabbing drinks with coworkers. This is my opportunity. Go for the laptop. Password protected. Try a few combinations. Know her well enough. Finally crack it. Not proud of what I'm doing, but paranoia is eating me alive. Check her email first. Clean like her phone. But then I find it. Folder labeled Receipts and Documents. Looks innocent enough. Open it. Heart stops. Photos. Dozens of them. Her with that same guy at some upscale bar downtown. Her sitting on his lap in what looks like a luxury hotel room. Her wearing a dress I've never seen, leaning in for a kiss. A kiss that wasn't mine. Can't breathe. Floor disappears beneath me. No more guessing. No more, maybe it's just a client. She's cheating. And it's not some one-time thing. Been going on for months. I've been blind. So fucking blind. Just sit there, staring at the screen. Images burning into my brain. How long has this been happening? How many lies has she told me? While smiling to my face? Acting like everything's normal? Worst part is, can hear her voice in my head, already knowing how she'll spin this. If I confront her, she'll say it's nothing. Just some work relationship. That doesn't mean anything, but I know better now. Won't let her gaslight me. Not this time. When she comes home that night, all smiles. Too friendly, like she's trying to hide something. We sit on the couch. She tells me about her work drinks, laughing about some coworker story. Watch her, biting my tongue, hands clenched into fists. Every word she says makes me want to scream. But keep quiet. Not going to confront her. Not until I know exactly what to say. Until I'm ready to turn her whole world upside down, like she did to mine. But then she hits me with something unexpected. Leans in close, rests her hand on my shoulder, whispers softly, "I've been thinking we should take a break." Just stare at her, completely stunned. "What do you mean a break?" She smiles. That calm, patronizing smile, like she's talking to a child. "You've been distant lately, Thomas. I think we need some space to figure things out." Could have laughed. If I wasn't so furious, I had been distant. The audacity. She's turning this on me, making me the problem. Space? Repeat the word. Voice barely hiding my anger. She nods, acts like she's being reasonable. "Yeah, I just think some time apart would be good for us. You know, clear our heads." Can feel my pulse in my ears. Want to throw everything in her face? The pictures, the lies, the cheating, but stop myself. Something about her calmness, the way she's so sure of herself, makes me pause. She's playing a game, and I'm not about to let her win. Not yet. Take a deep breath. Force a smile. Sure, if that's what you want. She looks surprised. Wasn't expecting me to agree so easily, but she nods, satisfied. "Yeah, it'll be good for both of us." Little does she know. I'm not giving her space. I'm about to tear down the life she thought she'd built behind my back. It's not just about marriage anymore. It's about exposing the real Rebecca. And I'm going to make sure she doesn't see it coming after she drops the brake bomb. No, I have to play it smart. She's up to something. Not going to let her slither out. Without consequences. I have the photos. The proof. But not ready to show my hand. Not while she thinks she has the upper hand. Next few days are bizarre. Mix of fake normalcy and tension so thick, could cut it with a knife. Rebecca acts like nothing's changed, like we're not falling apart. Still asks if I want dinner. Still gives those practice smiles. But now, every time she touches her phone, every time she goes for drinks with coworkers, I know exactly what she's doing. Makes me sick. Not going to sit back. Let her do this. No way. If she wants a break, I'll give her something to think about. Start planning. If she wants to play games, I'll show her I can play better. That weekend she tells me. Going out of town. Some business conference. Says she'll be gone few days. Claims it's networking. Has the nerve to kiss my cheek as she packs her bag like she's the perfect wife. I know exactly where she's going and who she's going with. This conference is just another vacation with that suit-wearing bastard. But don't say a word. Watch her leave, pretending like I don't know. The moment she walks out that door, I go into action. Call my buddy Marcus. Marcus is that kind of friend. The one you want in your corner during a crisis. Blunt and no nonsense. has a way of seeing things clearly. When you're too emotionally messed up to think straight, need that right now. Tell him everything that's happening. He's not surprised. Dude, been telling you for years. She's got a cold streak. Doesn't sugarcoat it. But if you're finally ready to get rid of her, you need a plan. That's exactly what we did. Spend hours with Marcus, figuring out the best way to hit her where it hurts. Not just thinking about emotions anymore. This is about taking control of my life, my dignity, and frankly, my finances. Rebecca isn't just my wife. She's my boss. We work at the same company. She has more pull than I do, controls a lot of things, including my paycheck. That's why her comment in the office, the whole "you're useless, I'm taking your paycheck," hit harder than just a joke. It was a threat. Not going to let her take anything else from me. Marcus suggests something bold. Takes me a second to process. Why don't you quit? Blindside her, take her power away, before she even knows what's happening. Pause for a moment, not sure if I have the guts to do something that drastic, but the more I think about it, the more sense it makes. Rebecca's biggest hold over me isn't just our marriage, it's that she has the upper hand at work. If I take that away, she'd lose control. And I know Rebecca. She hates not being in control. Next day, go into the office. Rebecca's still away on business. Don't have to deal with her. Draft my resignation letter. Make it professional. No drama. No emotion, just cold hard facts. Walk straight to HR. Hand it in. That's it. I'm officially out. But I'm not done. That evening, text Rebecca. Keep it short. We need to talk when you get back. She replies quickly, all casual, like she has nothing to worry about. Of course. Everything okay? Don't respond. Let her sweat it out. The real kicker comes when she returns from her conference. Make sure to be at home, acting like I don't have a care in the world. She comes in, dragging her suitcase, looking slightly more tan, probably from lounging around at some luxury hotel pool. While I've been here, planning her downfall, she flashes me a quick smile. Hey babe, miss me? Asks like nothing has changed. Yeah, I bet. Reply flat. She raises an eyebrow, sensing the shift in my mood, but clearly not expecting what's coming. What's up? You seemed weird in your text. Stare at her for a moment. Pull out my phone. Still have those pictures. The ones from her laptop. Pull up a clear one. Her and her secret man. All cozy in that hotel room. Slide the phone across the table. Her face goes white instantly. The moment she sees it, that confident smirk she always wears melts away in a second. What the hell is this? She stammers, voice wavering for first time in months. You tell me. Keep my voice steady. Calm. Looks like your business trip. Involved more than just networking. Her eyes dart between phone and me, mind racing, trying to come up with excuses. Can see her scrambling. This is ridiculous, Thomas. This isn't what it looks like. You're overreacting. Almost laugh. I'm overreacting? It's a photo of you in a hotel room with another guy. What exactly am I overreacting to? She stands there, caught. Her face hardens. So what? You're going to throw away everything. Because of some photos? You don't even know the whole story. Then why don't you tell me? My voice sharp now. Tell me why you've been lying for months. Why you've been sneaking around with this guy? She crosses her arms, her usual defensive tactic. I've been unhappy, Thomas. You don't understand what it's like. Being in a relationship with you. You're weak. You don't challenge me. You just exist. I needed something else. Something more. Her words hit like a punch to the gut. She's not even trying to deny it anymore. Just throwing it in my face like her betrayal is my fault. You think that justifies cheating? My voice rising despite myself. You think because you're unhappy, it's okay to lie to my face every day? To drag me through this, without even giving me a chance to fix things? She doesn't flinch. Fix things, Thomas? You can't fix something? That's been broken for years. We've been over for a long time. I'm just the only one. Who had the guts to admit it? Stare at her, feeling mix of rage, disbelief, and something worse. Defeat. That's fine. Say it quietly. Because I quit. The job. The marriage. All of it. I'm done. Her eyes widen. What do you mean you quit? Hand her my resignation letter. You don't control me anymore, Rebecca. You don't get to treat me like a pawn in your little game. She stands there, stunned. Speechless for first time, and it feels good. Real good. Grab my keys. Walk out the door. Ignore the buzzing of my phone. As she tries to call me back. For once, I'm in control. Don't look back. Leave the house that night. Mind spinning, chest tight, but somehow feeling lighter. For first time in years, not tangled in Rebecca's web anymore. No more manipulation. No more lies. Drive aimlessly for hours. Not sure where to go. What to do. End up at Marcus's place. He opens the door. Takes one look at me. Knows something went down. She knows? Walk past him. Collapse onto his couch. Marcus raises an eyebrow. Leans against doorframe. So how'd it go? Laugh. Not a happy sound. She didn't even deny it. Had the nerve to act like it was my fault? Like I was the reason she was sneaking around. Man, she's a piece of work. Marcus mutters, shaking his head. But hey, at least you're free now. You quit, right? Yeah, told her everything. Walked out before she could pull more of her crap? Good. He claps me on the back. About time you cut that dead weight. You deserve better than that? Nod, even though heart's still racing. High of confrontation wearing off. Reality sinking in. What am I supposed to do now? No job, no wife, no plan. Just empty shell of what life used to be. Sit there in silence, staring at ceiling, wondering how everything fell apart so fast. Next morning, wake up to barrage of missed calls. Tons of texts from Rebecca. Seeing her name on phone screen. Feels like punch to gut. Texts start civil. We need to talk. Please call me back. But as I ignore them, they turn aggressive. Are you seriously going to run away like a child? You're really going to throw everything away over this? Then the bombshell. If you don't answer, I'm coming to Marcus's. We're not done. Show Marcus the messages. He shakes his head. She's not going to stop, is she? Nope. Sighing. Toss phone onto table. She's always been like this. Can't stand not being in control. Second, she feels like she's losing. She goes nuclear. Sure enough, not even an hour later. Knock on door. Don't even need to check. No, it's her. Marcus opens it. There she stands. In doorway, looking furious. We need to talk. Her voice low but firm. Marcus looks at me. I nod. Not going to hide from this. Not anymore. Walk over. Lean against doorframe. Arms crossed. What do you want, Rebecca? She steps inside, eyes locked on mine. I want to know why you're doing this. Why you're throwing away everything we built. Over some misunderstanding. Can't help but laugh. Misunderstanding? You think this is just a misunderstanding? I have pictures, Rebecca. I saw you with him. She rolls her eyes. Like I'm being irrational. I already told you. It's not what it looks like. He's just someone I met through work. Things got complicated, but it didn't mean anything. There it is. Shake my head. The classic, it didn't mean anything. Do you think I'm stupid? No, Thomas, I don't think you're stupid. Her voice softens, like she's trying to calm down a child. I just think you're overreacting. We've been under a lot of pressure lately. Maybe I made some bad decisions. But that doesn't mean we should throw everything away. Stare at her in disbelief. She's not even trying to own up. Still spinning her lies. Still trying to make me doubt myself. I already threw it away. Keep my voice steady. I quit. I'm done with the job. And I'm done with you. You can have him, or whatever it is you want. But I'm not sticking around. To play this game anymore? Her expression shifts. Gone is the soft, pleading tone. Now she's angry. You quit? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how stupid that was? You don't just walk away from everything because of some little mistake. Clench my jaw. Try to keep cool. A little mistake? You've been lying to me for months, Rebecca. Cheating. Sneaking around. You don't get to call that a little mistake. Thomas, don't be dramatic. She snaps. You know I've been carrying the weight of our lives for years now. You're stuck. You have no ambition. No drive? I had to find something else. Something more than this stale, dead-end marriage? But I was still here, wasn't I? I was still trying to make it work. Even when you weren't enough, hit me like a freight train. Know she has a way of cutting deep, but this is something else. Stand there stunned, her words sinking in. I wasn't enough? Voice shaking. You think cheating on me makes you the victim? That I wasn't enough because I wasn't climbing some corporate ladder fast enough for you? She doesn't respond. Her silence says everything. I quit because I'm done playing your game, Rebecca. Continue, voice firm. You used me. You lied to me. You took everything from me, and now you're mad because you don't get to control me anymore. Well, I'm not going to let you make me feel like a failure because I wasn't living up to your ridiculous standards. Her face hardens again. That cold, calculating expression returns. Fine. If that's what you want, Thomas. If you want to walk away from everything, from me, then don't expect any sympathy. When you fall flat on your face, you'll be crawling back, and by then it'll be too late. Stare at her, not even angry anymore, just tired, exhausted really. I won't be crawling back, Rebecca. Not this time. She turns, storms out, slams door behind her. Marcus standing in corner, arms crossed, watching whole thing. Lets out low whistle. Damn, man. She really went for the jugular. Didn't she? Nod silently. Sink back onto couch. Feel weight of everything crashing down. Lost it all. Marriage. Career. Future. Everything I thought I had, but there's something else too. Beneath the pain, beneath the exhaustion. Strange sense of relief. Not under her thumb anymore. Not tied to her lies. First time in years. I'm free. And that scares the hell out of me. Days after Rebecca stormed out, everything hits at once. Initial rush of standing my ground fades fast. Of finally breaking free. What comes next is just empty. House is quiet. Too quiet. Never realized how much of my life was tangled up with her. Even smallest things. Her shoes by the door. Sound of her typing late at night. Scent of her perfume on the couch. All of it gone. And with it, the life I thought I had. But it's not just emotional. It's practical too. Really hitting me now. I quit my job. That's the reality sinking in hard. Rebecca and I worked together for years. Knew the company inside and out. But also know she'll turn the place against me. In no time. She has the connections, the power. And me? I'm just another guy out of work, trying to figure out next move. Marcus tries to keep my spirits up, but can tell he's worried too. Look, man, it's going to be rough for a bit. But you did the right thing. Can't stay stuck under her. This is your chance to figure out what you want. Problem is, I don't know what I want. My career been tied to hers for so long, lost sight of who I was. Outside of being Rebecca's husband, or her employee, but sitting around moping. Not going to get me anywhere. Start job hunting. Anything to get my mind off the train wreck of my personal life. While sending out resumes, texts from Rebecca keep coming. They're fewer now. Less angry, more strategic. Like she's moved to different phase of attack. Not trying to fight outright anymore. Now trying to lure me back. We should talk. I'm sorry things got so heated. Maybe we can figure out a way to work through this. It doesn't have to be the end, Thomas. You know you'll never find someone who understands you the way I do. That last one makes me laugh bitterly. Classic Rebecca. When all else fails, play the card that no one else would put up with me. She always had this way of making me feel lucky just to have her, even when she was tearing me apart, but not falling for it. Not anymore. Ignore the messages. Delete them without responding. Easier that way. But doesn't mean I'm not struggling. 2 weeks after she left, lying on couch in Marcus's living room, staring at ceiling. Phone rings. Not Rebecca this time. It's my mom. Thomas, her voice soft but with an edge, knows something's wrong. We need to talk. I've been hearing things. Mom, it's fine. Already dreading this conversation? It's not fine. She continues. I know you and Rebecca are going through something. But you can't just shut everyone out. Your brother called me. Said he saw something on Facebook. People are talking, Thomas. That makes me sit up. Facebook? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know what you're hearing. But it's just messy. Messy, Thomas? She's posting pictures with another man. There's a whole thread about it. I didn't want to believe it. But then I saw them myself. She's flaunting it. Like nothing ever happened between you two. Feel cold wave of nausea. What pictures? Ask even though already no answer. Rebecca's moved on. Not even bothering to hide it anymore. I'm sending them to you. Mom's voice tight with concern. I'm worried about you. This is too much for you to handle alone. Hang up, stare at phone. Waiting for pictures to come through. When they do, feel stomach drop. There she is. Rebecca laughing in some fancy restaurant. Hand resting on shoulder of that same guy. They're all over each other. Can't breathe. Captions are the worst. She isn't even subtle about it. Comments like, finally living my best life. And deserved a real man. All over her posts. People commenting. Some mutual friends even cheering her on. Congratulating her for breaking free. Making jokes about how she upgraded. Hands shake as scroll through comments. Each one feels like stab to gut. Not just betrayal anymore. It's humiliation. She isn't just cheating. She's broadcasting it. Flaunting her new life. Like I'm some embarrassing footnote. In her past. Throw phone across room. Hear it slam into wall. Don't care. Rage, pain, unfairness. All boiling over inside me. She's ruined everything. Our marriage, my job, now my reputation. And she's enjoying it. Marcus comes in. Sees me sitting there. Shaking. What happened? She's posting it all over social media, say through clenched teeth, like I'm nothing, like I never even mattered. He shakes head, face hardening. She's trying to get under your skin, man. She knows this will hurt you, and she wants a reaction. Don't give her that satisfaction. I don't know how to not react. Voice barely steady. She's ripping me apart, and she's acting like it's the best thing that's ever happened to her. Marcus sits down next to me. Look, I'm not going to lie. It's going to get worse before it gets better. She's going to keep pushing, keep flaunting it. But that's because she knows. She's losing control over you. You're not crawling back, and that's driving her crazy. You have to hold the line, Thomas. Don't let her win this. Take deep breath. Try to let his words sink in. But it's hard, really hard. Rebecca's been part of my life for so long. Now she's trying to erase me. Rewrite the narrative, like I never mattered. Like I was just a stepping stone to her real happiness. I don't know how to get past this. Admit quietly. It's like every part of my life is tied to her, and now it's all gone. You build something new, Marcus says, voice steady. It's going to suck for a while, but you rebuild. You find out who you are without her. And trust me, man, when you come out the other side of this, you're going to be stronger than you've ever been. Want to believe him? Really do. But sitting there, in wreckage of everything, I thought my life was not sure how I'll ever put pieces back together. But one thing's for sure, not going to let Rebecca destroy me. Not completely. Not anymore. Can't sleep that night. Every time close my eyes. See those photos? Plastered all over social media. Her smug face, her hand on that guy, like he's some prize she won. It gnaws at me. Slow burning anger. Keeps bubbling up. Every time try to push it down. Marcus said not to give her satisfaction. Of reacting. Easier said than done. She wants me to break. Can feel it. She's baiting me. Trying to draw me into some public meltdown, where she can paint me as bitter, pathetic ex. That's what this is all about. Control. She can't control me at work anymore. Can't manipulate me in marriage. So now she's playing. Only card she has left. Humiliation. Lie there staring at ceiling. Mind racing. Have to do something. Can't just sit here. Let her rewrite story of our marriage. Like I'm the villain. She has no right. But can't let emotions control me. If going to fight back, have to do it smart. Next morning, make a decision. Not going to engage with her online. Not going to sink to her level. Won't throw petty insults. Won't respond to her posts. That's what she wants. Instead, going to hit her where it really hurts. Her ego. Call up a lawyer. Don't know much about divorce law, but know enough to understand. Need someone on my side who can fight dirty if needed. Rebecca has upper hand financially, makes more money, has more connections, probably thinks she can steamroll me in court, but not going to let her take everything. Not without a fight. Lawyer's name is Victoria. She's sharp. Kind of person who sees 10 steps ahead in a chess match. When lay everything out. Our shared finances. Our house. Fact that Rebecca was my boss. She doesn't flinch. You have more leverage than you think, Victoria says after explanation. Fact that she's posting about her affair online is a gift, really? Paints very clear picture of her behavior. Can work in your favor? When it comes to dividing assets? Nod, absorbing her words, but part of me still feels uneasy. What about my job? I quit, but she still has influence. At the company. Don't want her poisoning the well for me. Victoria smiles, glint of something sharp in her eyes. We make sure that's covered too. She's going to have hard time explaining why she's dragging your name through mud while you're keeping quiet. We'll make sure you walk away. With what's fair? And maybe more. First time in weeks. Feel like not completely powerless. Victoria sets up strategy. Go after fair settlement. Focus on fact that Rebecca's behavior could be seen as damaging to our marriage and my future employment. Advises me to stay quiet. Let Rebecca keep digging her own grave with her public displays. Be ready to strike when time is right. But even with solid legal plan, can't shake anger gnawing at me. Rebecca gotten away with too much already. Want her to feel it. She thinks she's untouchable. But I know her better than anyone. Know what she values most. Her image, her reputation, the illusion of being perfect. Successful woman who has it all together. And that's where going to hit her. Later that week, put my own plan into action. Start reaching out to old friends. People Rebecca doesn't think I'm in contact with. From our earlier days. Before she started climbing corporate ladder. Before she started distancing herself from anyone she thought beneath her. I'd always been more down to earth. While Rebecca outgrew those relationships, I hadn't. One of those people was Ryan, old friend from college, works in PR now, owes me a favor. Know exactly how to cash it in. Meet Ryan for drinks. Lay it all out for him. The affair. Social media posts. Ways she's parading new life around. Like she's some kind of hero. Ryan doesn't need much convincing. Never liked Rebecca. Thought she was narcissist, who used people for own gain. When tell him what she's doing now, he grins. So you want to tarnish the Golden Girl's image? Raises eyebrow. More like show people who she really is. Reply carefully. Don't want to drag her through mud. Just want truth out there. She's built this whole life on lies. I'm done playing role of her silent victim. Ryan nods. Takes sip of his whiskey. I can work with that. Give me some time. I'll get ball rolling. That's exactly what I did. Over next few weeks, Ryan quietly leaks information. Nothing too scandalous. Just enough to raise eyebrows. Starts with facts about work situation. Highlighting how Rebecca climbed way to top, while treating people around her like stepping stones. Then hints at affair, framing it as open secret that she was flaunting. While still technically married, it isn't slander, it's truth. Laid out in a way that makes people see who she really is. Doesn't take long for gossip to spread. Rebecca had a lot of admirers, but also plenty of enemies. People who'd been waiting for crack in her perfect facade. Once that crack appears, they're more than happy to help widen it. Tipping point comes when someone from old company anonymously posts detailed account of how Rebecca manipulated her way into leadership position, using relationship with me as leverage. Post goes viral within our industry. Suddenly people are talking. Whispers turn into full-blown rumors. Rebecca's reputation, so carefully crafted over years, begins to crumble. Not gloating, not celebrating her downfall, but be lying if said. It didn't feel good. To finally see scales tip in my favor for once. For so long she'd held all power. Now she's scrambling. Few days later, get call from Rebecca. She sounds different, less sure of herself, less smug. Thomas, we need to talk. Her voice strained. Lean back in chair. Take deep breath. About what? I know what you're doing. She snaps, but no real anger behind it. She's desperate now. I know you've been spreading rumors, making me look bad. This needs to stop. Can hear panic in her voice. For first time. It doesn't affect me. Don't feel like drowning anymore. I haven't spread anything that isn't true. Say calmly measured. People are just seeing real you. For first time, she's silent for a moment. When speaks again, her tone has softened. I don't want to keep fighting like this. We can still work something out. You know it doesn't have to be ugly. Funny. Reply quietly. I wasn't the one who made it ugly. You did that on your own. Long pause on other end. For a moment, thinks she might hang up. Instead, she sighs. You really want to destroy me, don't you? Think about it. Think about everything she'd done. The lies, the manipulation, way she tried to paint herself as victim, while tearing me down. I don't need to destroy you, Rebecca. Finally say, you're doing that yourself. With that, hang up. Feel weight lift off shoulders. Not angry anymore. Not bitter. Just done. Done with her. Done with games. Done with everything. That had tied me to that toxic life. For first time in months, feel something close to peace. After that last call, something shifts inside me. The anger, the bitterness, gnawing need for revenge starts to fade. Spent so long trying to get even to level playing field. But now realize something. It isn't about winning anymore. It's about moving on. Rebecca had been Storm in my life, one that destroyed everything in its path. But Storm was finally passing, and in its wake, feel something hadn't felt in long time. Clarity. Over next few weeks, focus on rebuilding, both my life and myself. Marcus Romain Constant Support reminds me to stay focused, not get pulled back into Rebecca's chaos. My lawyer Victoria handling divorce. Every update from her is more good news, thanks to public mess Rebecca made. Victoria able to negotiate settlement, far better than ever expected. I get to keep house. No alimony, no long drawn-out court battles. Rebecca doesn't want to fight anymore. She can't. Her reputation too damaged. To survive another blow. Strange feeling. Watching pieces fall into place after months of uncertainty, fear, and anger. Finally seeing future. That doesn't include her. But even as move forward, can't shake feeling, something still unfinished. One evening, sitting on back porch, staring out at yard. Phone buzzes. Glance at it, expect another update from Victoria, or text from Marcus. But it's not either of them. It's Rebecca. Message is simple, but hits me like punch to gut. Can we meet one last time? Stare at screen. Unsure what to do. Every instinct says ignore it. Let her fade into past, where she belongs. But something about message feels different. Not like others. No manipulation. No thinly veiled insults. No accusations. Just simple request. Don't respond right away. Instead, sit there, weighing options. Part of me wants to refuse. What could she possibly say now? That would make difference, but another part that needs real closure, decides to give her this one last chance. Agree to meet her at coffee shop near old office. Place we used to go together when things were still good. Back when still believed. In version of Rebecca, I thought I knew. When arrive, she's already sitting at table and back. She looks different, tired, her usual confidence, that sharp cutting edge, gone. She glances up when approach, offers weak smile, but doesn't reach her eyes. Thanks for coming, says softly, gesturing for me to sit. Sit down. Keep my distance, unsure what to expect. For a moment, we just sit there, in silence, awkwardness between us, heavy and suffocating. Finally, she speaks. I know I've been awful. I'm not going to make excuses. For what I did, I just wanted to talk. I don't expect you to forgive me, but I need you to understand something. Stay silent. Let her continue. I didn't plan for any of this to happen. Her voice shaky. I thought I had everything under control. Thought I could juggle it all. Work, our marriage, the other stuff. But somewhere along the way, I lost myself. Made mistakes, Thomas. Huge ones. And I know that now. It wasn't just the affair. It was everything. The way I treated you, the way I used you. Watch her carefully, searching for signs of manipulation. Any hints she's trying to play me again? But for once, she seems genuine. Raw even. I was so caught up in being perfect. She continues, in having perfect life, perfect career, perfect marriage. I didn't realize how much I was hurting you. How much I was losing myself in all of it. And when things started to fall apart, I lashed out. Blamed you because it was easier. Then facing what I had become, leaned back in chair. Still wary, but her words hitting something inside. Something hadn't expected. Not ready to forgive her. Maybe never would be, but hearing her admit it, hearing her acknowledge damage she'd caused, it was something. I'm not asking for anything, she says, voice barely above whisper. I don't want you to hate me. I know I ruined everything. But I don't want that to be the end of us. Don't want my mistakes to define how you remember our time together. Take deep breath, weight of her words sinking in. Rebecca, say slowly. It's not just about the affair. It's not just about the lies. You didn't just ruin our marriage. You tore down everything. That made me believe in us. You made me feel like I wasn't enough. Like I was just some stepping stone. In your life, she flinches, eyes filling with regret. I know, she whispers. I know I did. And I'm so sorry. Don't say anything for a long moment. Let silence settle between us. Part of me wants to lash out, make her feel pain I'd carried for so long. But another part, the part that's tired of being angry, just wants to let go. I don't hate you, Rebecca. Finally say, but I'm done. Done with the lies, the manipulation, the games. I don't want you in my life anymore. This is the last time we'll meet like this. She nods, tears brimming in her eyes, but doesn't fight it. For once, doesn't try to argue or turn things around, just accepts it. I understand, says softly, wiping away tear. I really do. We sit there a few more minutes, weight of everything we'd been through, hanging in air, then without another word. Stand up, walk out of cafe, leaving Rebecca behind, along with everything she'd put me through. It was over. As step outside, cool evening air hits my face. For first time in what feels like years, feel free, not just from her, but from anger, the hurt, the bitterness that consumed me. Got the closure. Didn't even know I needed. It wasn't victory. Wasn't some triumphant moment. Where walked away with head held high. It was just peace. And maybe that was enough. Walking out of that cafe, feels something hadn't felt in months. Like huge weight finally lifted off my shoulders. It isn't that everything magically better, or that all pain from past few months gone, but something shifted. For first time in what feels like forever. Not looking backward, not holding on to anger, the betrayal, or bitterness. Just free. Life after Rebecca was strange at first, like learning to breathe again. But in different atmosphere, silence in house doesn't feel suffocating anymore. Feels like space. Find myself enjoying little things. Hadn't noticed in years. Mornings with no rush. Evenings spent with Marcus. Just talking. Or watching random game on TV. Start going for runs again. Something used to love. Before everything got complicated. Clears my head. Helps process wreckage Rebecca left behind. Throw myself into finding new job. Something separate. From everything we built together. It isn't easy. Starting over never is, but feels like clean slate. Exactly what I need. Don't want to be tied to past anymore, to company we shared, or identity of Rebecca's husband. Want to build something that's mine. Slowly, things begin to fall into place. Get position at smaller firm. Nothing flashy, nothing that would make headlines, but it's solid. People are down to earth. Best of all, no shadow of Rebecca looming over me. Fresh start. More valuable than any paycheck. Every now and then, hear whispers about Rebecca. Mutual friends who haven't completely cut ties. Mention her in passing. See posts on social media. Not from her directly. She's gone quiet. After whole PR mess, but from people still in her orbit. Seems like her life's still spinning, but not in direction she planned. She's moved on with that guy. One from pictures, but from what here? It isn't perfect romance. She made it out to be. Don't find joy in that though. It doesn't matter anymore. Her life isn't my concern. What does matter is how I'm rebuilding myself, slowly piecing together life. That doesn't revolve around her. In process, start reconnecting with people I'd drifted away from. Friends, family, even old coworkers. Realize how much I'd isolated myself. In that marriage, how much I'd let Rebecca dictate. Not just our relationship, but every aspect of my world. Done living like that. One afternoon, few months after everything settled, get call from my brother James. He's in town, wants to grab lunch, meet at small diner downtown. One of those places. Used to go to as kids. Simple. Unpretentious. Exactly what I need. You seem different, he says after we order, leaning back in booth. Lighter. Not used to seeing you like this. I feel different. Reply. Sipping coffee. It's been rough few months, but think I'm finally moving on. He smiles. Good. You deserve to be happy, Thomas. You always did. Nod, feeling warmth in his words. For so long, had forgotten what it felt like to just be okay, to not constantly look over shoulder, wondering what kind of lie I'd be fed next. As we talk, James brings up something hadn't considered. Are you ready to start dating again? Question catches me off guard. Dating? Hadn't even thought about it. Idea of opening myself up to someone feels both terrifying and oddly exciting. I don't know. Admit honestly, I mean, I haven't really thought about it. After everything with Rebecca, not sure I'm ready to trust someone again? He nods, understanding. It'll take time, but don't let her ruin that for you. Don't let what she did make you afraid to connect with someone else. His words stay with me. After that lunch, not sure when I'll be ready, but for first time, open to idea of finding someone new, not as replacement for what I'd lost, but as way to start fresh, with someone who doesn't come with all baggage and pain that Rebecca had left behind. Weeks turn into months. Life starts to feel normal again. Work is steady. Friendships are strong. And house? My house now. Feels like home. Not constantly thinking about Rebecca anymore. Sure, she crosses my mind from time to time, but not with anger or bitterness. Just chapter that had closed. One evening, sitting on porch, watching sunset, phone buzzes with notification. Message from old college friend. Someone haven't heard from in years. She's in town. Wants to catch up. Stare at message for moment. Think about everything. That led me to this point. The pain, the betrayal, the chaos that ripped through my life, but also the healing, the rebuilding, the slow, steady steps toward future I hadn't thought was possible. Smile. Type back quick response. Sure, I'd love to catch up. It isn't much, just simple message, but feels like start of something new, something better. Rebecca is part of my past, a painful one, but she doesn't own my future. That's mine to build, one step at a time and for first time in long time, ready to move forward without her.